You're about to learn something most ACCA students never get right. Not because they're lazy, not because they're bad at math, but because the subject is taught wrong. Let me ask you something. Have you ever read your ACCA MA textbook and thought, wait, how does this even apply to the real world? You spend hours memorizing cost classifications, budgeting techniques, variance analysis. But when it comes to actually using them in business scenarios, you freeze. It's like being given the parts of a plane without ever being taught how to fly. This video? It changes everything. Because today, you're not just going to learn ACCA MA. You're going to live it. Through real-life examples, business stories, and behind-the-scenes decisions that shape actual companies, you'll finally understand what management accounting is truly about, and why the smartest CFOs in the world swear by these concepts every single day. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed, confused, or stuck in theory, stay with me. Because this isn't just ACCA MA. This is ACCA MA that makes sense. Welcome to Education Bench, the home of intelligent learning for ambitious minds. Here, we don't just teach theory, we translate it into real-world strategy. If you're someone who wants to not only pass exams but think like a leader, you're exactly where you need to be. 1. The forgotten purpose of MA, why it's more than numbers. Let's be honest, most people treat management accounting like a checklist of formulas. But here's what no one tells you, MA is not about calculations. It's about decisions. It's about power. The budgeting tools you learn? That's how executives plan entire fiscal years. The cost classifications? That's how product managers decide what gets killed and what gets funded. Every formula in your MA syllabus is a weapon, and every real company you admire uses them to survive, grow, or collapse. Here's a reality check. A 2022 McKinsey report showed that companies who use managerial insights from cost analysis outperform others by 31% in operational efficiency. That's not theory. That's business. 2. Real example. Variable versus fixed costs. Netflix's content strategy. Let's decode something simple yet profound. In your books, you learn that fixed costs stay the same regardless of output, while variable costs increase with activity. But what does that look like in real life? Take Netflix. Their server costs, mostly fixed. No matter how many people stream a movie, they pay a WSA flat rate. But content production? That's variable. Every new show like Stranger Things or The Witcher comes with a new cost. Now, during COVID, when viewership spiked, their fixed cost per user decreased. Brilliant, right? That's cost behavior in action. If you understand this one thing, how costs behave, you can explain why businesses scale or fail. Here's what no one tells you. Netflix didn't go global because of content. They went global because they understood fixed versus variable costs better than their competitors. That's management accounting in the wild. 3. Break-even point, the secret behind Tesla's pricing. Break-even analysis sounds boring until you realize it's why Tesla still exists. Early on, Tesla was hemorrhaging cash. Every Model S they sold was a loss maker. But Elon Musk used MA tools to calculate exactly how many cars he needed to sell before profits kicked in, and then aggressively optimized operations to hit that point. Every decision, from battery suppliers to gigafactory placement, was about reaching break-even faster. That chart you make in ACCA MA with the straight lines and curves? It's the reason a trillion-dollar company exists today. 4. Budgeting, how IKEA plans its prices 2 years ahead. IKEA doesn't just create furniture. It engineers affordability. Before a product is even designed, IKEA sets a target cost. That's right, they work backward. If a table needs to sell at $99, they ask, how do we build it for $49? This is target costing, a tool in your MA syllabus. And this mindset isn't just smart, it's necessary. Because in a competitive market, the company that controls cost wins the price war without killing profit. Imagine using budgeting tools not just to track costs, but to shape innovation. That's how MA works at IKEA. 5. Variance analysis, Starbucks monthly pulse check. Variance analysis is more than an exam question, it's a survival mechanism. Every month, Starbucks' finance team compares forecasted sales, costs, and outputs with actual performance. They look at labor variances to see if a store is overstaffed. They study material variances to optimize coffee bean usage. And when something's off, They investigate, fast. That's the power of variance analysis. It's not about blaming. It's about finding stories behind the numbers before they become losses. 6. Relevant costing. Should a company drop a product line? Imagine a real case. A mid-sized electronics company has a product line that looks unprofitable. Their instinct? Kill it. But a smart MA analyst points out, many of the fixed costs will stay even if the line is dropped. And some overheads are shared with profitable lines. By using relevant costing, ignoring sunk costs and irrelevant fixed overheads, the company realizes the product is actually contributing positively. This one insight saved over 80 jobs. That's the kind of power ACCA MA gives you. Here's what no one told the CEO. You don't drop a product based on total cost. You drop it based on relevant cost. This single mindset saved a company from making a $1 million mistake. Limiting factors. Why airlines overbook flights. Capacity management. It sounds like operations, but it's pure MA thinking. Airlines overbook because they analyze limiting factors, seat availability versus expected no-shows. By using contribution per limiting factor, airlines decide how to price tickets, which flights to prioritize, and how to maximize profits per seat. Yes, it sometimes leads to bumping passengers. But the profit trade-off is mathematically backed and legally planned. You didn't just watch a video about ACCA MA. You just witnessed the invisible system behind some of the biggest business moves on the planet. This subject? It's not about passing papers. It's about thinking differently, seeing behind the curtain, understanding what really drives profit, loss, risk, and growth. If this hit home for you, share it. Because right now, you're one step ahead of 90% of ACCA students. But this isn't the end. It's your starting point. If you want to continue building real-world intelligence through every ACCA subject, not just for exams, but for actual success, hit that subscribe button and watch the next video right here. And before you go, answer this in the comments. What's one real business you'd like us to analyze through the lens of ACCA? Let's keep this conversation alive. Because the way you learn shouldn't be boring, it should be powerful. Thank you for watching Education Bench. Let's redefine learning together.